Hello and welcome to the Performance Racing League. You are joined for our round 2 Sunday League race at Austria, and I am joined by the one and only Ramsey. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing very well. Yeah, the first race in Belgium was a good delight, I would say, actually, last week on Sunday. So hopefully the drivers will continue from there. That's a good sign. Cool. Just checking, is the audio working for both of us? Okay, let me check as well. In the meantime, I will follow on board with Marchena. Yeah, you sound amazing. No, you sound like crystal clear. I don't think there's anything I can change on my side. I've just got a generic headset. Right, so Martin, he's on a fast lap. He's just invalidated though, so that's over after turn one. Finsick TM, wow, he's got a trademark. I've never seen him before. Mate, is this his first race? Could well be. Okay, well he's on Inter tires, so let's just call that a sighter. I'm not entirely sure if we're actually allowed to do quali laps on the wet tyres anymore, but as it's his first race, I'm sure he'll get told. So I think the first driver then is J7LFC, which I assume is Liverpool Football Club. Mr. Bean setting a 104, always one to watch, had a great showing last week out. Justin with a 104.9 in the Red Bull, and JF with a 104.8, so some early competition there from the Aston Martin driver. Okay, let me give that a go. That's cool. Nice. Right, I found a way to reduce my microphone, so I couldn't increase yours, but I've reduced my own. That's as low as I can take it though. So we'll go with that and hope for the best. I blame Discord. Oh, you can't hear yourself now. Was it working before? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I was playing around with it on my laptop to see what it was like. That's all it would be. Yeah, I think this is just a fun thing with PlayStation because, like I said, I've not done it through Discord before, so I have no idea how on earth to do that. Right, I'll keep the stream going and I'll just do some research on Google. Yeah, okay, appreciate that. Right, so Finsick now on his first proper flying lap because he invalidated his previous. So let's just follow on board for the whole of his lap. So making his way now down towards sector 2. Towards turn number, I think it's technically turn 3. And now onto this first DRS straight, which takes us then into Sector 2, I should say. Trying to straight line that. It's all about getting good traction out of that tight right-hander. Bit of an off-camber corner as well. And you've got this tricky downwards, downhill right-hander that you can easily lock up going into there, but it handles that very well. Good rotation. Then this beautiful, beautiful sort of sweeping left-hand section here. You want to hang that out nice and wide, slightly late turn in, which is great. And then riding over that curve as much as possible. And he's gone purple there. So that's a great sign for Finsick. And now it's all about carrying as much speed as you can. Chooses to downshift into 6th. Then very rapid double downshift to 4th through the final corner. Looking good. And it's a 104.672 for his first soft tyre run. Joe is, I think, on an in lap. Or either that or he's gearing up for a hot lap. On board with Mysterious. A few new drivers actually in today. I don't think I've seen Mysterious, so shout out to him. The Urgic Moss 49 as well. Don't think I've heard him before, so that's good to see. Free Guy, welcome back. Totu on 5M. I'm not sure how to say his name, but I think he's new as well, so welcome. Right, so Joe choosing to go on the medium, so that won't be a fast lap. So let's stay on with Mysterious. Working his way around now, sorry, the final 2 corners. As the 2 cars in front very kindly get out of the way, going to the pits. Looking a little bit slower, let's say, but it's a cycle lap. P13, 105.6. Still a solid lap time. Spin and win now, the only driver yet to set a lap time. He is on his out lap. Are you there, Ramsey? Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, apologies. Right, so Mr. Bean, he is on a flying lap, number 2. And he was 600ths up. And absolutely threw the car into that downwards right-hander. Right, working with the oversteer. Very sort of Max Verstappen-esque. So aggressive and carrying a lot of speed. Almost 3 tenths of an improvement so far. So this could be, potentially, the 103 that Ramsey was looking for. Carries so much... Oh no, abandoned. Yeah, you know a driver's good and feeling confident when they're 3 tenths up and they abandon into the pits. I'm sure he's more than happy. Wow, good pace. Oh, and Martin invalidated on the final corner on the exit. That's unfortunate. He would have been 400s up. Okay, haven't seen Gord much in this session yet, so I'm just riding on board with the Mercedes. Sorry, yeah, the Mercedes driver. Good driving from the Alpine of Spin and Win to get out of the way. Throwing the car through those left-handers. Good improvement so far. In fact, I think that's a purple Sector 2. So clearly looking very, very solid in Sector 2. Chooses 7th gear through the right-hander, not 6th. And then down to 5th. So a little bit of a different style to Mr. Beam. And I think Finsick as well. I think a bit more aggressive with the gears. And a 104.2, that's a great lap time. Puts him into provisional 2nd place. Noob as well in the Ferrari. Are you sure you can't? What? That doesn't make sense, does it? Okay. So Noob crosses the line with a 1:04.9. Good lap. Very good lap. Toto on his, I think, second flying lap. And he's looking good. Ooh, a bit of a moment. And he had to correct it, which then took him wide, and he invalidated. But he was looking for about 1:04, sort of 8ish. So a solid lap time. I mean, just a 1/10 improvement would put him up to P7 from 11th. So it's crazy fine margins right now as Craig works his way into the pits. And Theurgic Moss, 49. Very interesting name. He's on the medium tyre, so I think he's just getting some sighters in. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go. So doesn't want to hang around too long. Finsick though, this is looking impressive. Almost 3 tenths improved just in Sector 1 alone. If he can keep that kind of improvement, he would be looking at a pole position, provisionally. I think standing in for Rusty. Yeah, Craig, we're aware that we can't hear Ramsey. It's to do with PS5 streaming Discord chats. I've tried looking into the settings. I'm not entirely sure how to share the audio. With like a PlayStation party, there's an explicit setting. You toggle it on to say allow party chat. But yeah, I'm not seeing the same thing, unfortunately, which is really annoying. I have to say, it's very. I don't understand why that is. Right, so Mr. Bean, he is now okay. He invalidated his lap time, so he must have made a mistake with the last corner. Because if you do that, you invalidate not only your current lap, but also the next lap. So that is a little bit unfortunate for him. But he's got a whole lap to just get the battery back up and regroup. Meanwhile, Martin is now on his flying lap. Quite clean air, actually, at least so far. I mean, he has got 5 cars currently going down the straight that is next up for him. But in theory, they should get out of the way. Wow, already thrown that in there. Slight lock-up. Ah, wonderful. Yeah, and Ramsey just informing me that Tar Heels has joined, which is fantastic. So good work by Ramsey. I'm liking the admin effort there. This lap from Martin looks very tidy. I actually forgot what the delta is. I think it is improved, but loving how aggressive he's being. Almost spun it. I often do the exact same thing where you clip that inside curb on the penultimate corner. Yeah, that did knock off a lot of his gains, but a 1:04.3, that's still a solid lap time, P4. I think he's got more in the bag. So 1 lap to regroup and then give it a final go. GK Bass, a driver I've not mentioned at all session, but quietly sitting in 5th place in the Alpine. It's interesting, an Alpine in 1st and 5th. It's a strong day so far for the team that did so well in real life. So quite a lot of drivers out on the track as you'd expect with 3 minutes to go. I think those that are in the pit will most likely leave around now, or within the next sort of 30 seconds. But let's see how GK Bass fares through this. Actually rather difficult, to be fair, to nail. Final 2 corners. Very aggressive over the curb. Takes loads of curb. Very aggressive over the final curb. Just misses out on track limits. So pretty much perfection. And 1:04.0. I mean, yeah, as I said, those final 2 corners, you know, easy to do at a slow speed, but to nail it like GK Bass did takes a lot of commitment. And clearly his setup has a lot of stability, because he really attacked that first curb. I think the setup I use, if I tried to do what he just did, I would be having a tank slapper into the wall on the outside somewhere. Just natural talent. J7 as well in the Aston, so he's doing quite well. Just stay on board for these final 2 corners. It looks like a solid lap time. slightly more tentative through the last corner, and that will cost him ever so slightly now all the way to the line. But 104.5, P7, great lap. Really good lap. Very competitive session, actually. No one's in the 103s yet, but, well, the top 12 are all in the 104s. That's really good. Really, really good. Potentially, I'm not even sure what the weather actually is in terms of temperature wise, but yeah, that's a good shout. As Free Guy sets a 104.5, so just misses out on P7 and just grabs P9. So close. Move. Let's see. Craig is improved, so we want to watch out for. So much traffic for him. That's very unfortunate. Dr. J. And actually, let's see if we can catch Tar Heels. So Tar Heels just making his way on his first lap. So I'll try and keep an eye out for others, but I think we'll try and settle on Tar Heels. Mr. Bean, 4 attempts improved. This could be pole. 103.8. So the 104 barrier has been broken. Wow, great lap by Mr. Bean. And Finstick is gearing up now for what will be his final flying lap. So anyway, as I said, not ideal. So we've got Tar Heels then, following on what I believe to be his hot lap based on his battery life. Very difficult just to jump into a session at the end and try and sort of get that momentum. So a few drivers have set their best laps, including GK, so GK could not improve. And a 106.1 for Tar Heels. I mean, that was always going to be a bit of a tall order. So let's follow then on board with, we've got Martin and Gourd Sauce on hot laps. Finstick as well, though his battery is a little bit low at this stage of the lap. And Spin and Win as well, so quite a lot of drivers. We'll go with Finstick first, he's further up the order, sorry, further along the track I should say. There is a McLaren though, about to cross the line. And that's Joe, who I think does not improve. Finstick trying to throw it through the final corner, just as GK Bass did. And a 104.0, great lap, just snatches P2. So anyway, as I say, let's go over to Gourd Sauce, who abandons. So now we're back onto Spin and Win. Looking very fast, just misses out on the invalidation, so good stuff. 103.9, pinches P2. Wow, so we caught some really, really good laps at the end there. Almost in order, they kept taking P2 off themselves. I mean, a lot of people do say it's, you know, the last one to cross the line and set that fast flying lap often does have a good shout. And I think Dr. J I should say, yeah, he's not going to improve, but he will be, I think, the final one to cross the line, and that should essentially finish the session. I think it's just Gourd Sauce going into the pits. So that's it. That is your order. Yeah, really, really good. I mean, top, I think it was like 12, 13, almost within a second of each other. Woe 222 spectate Totu. Is Woe 222? Is that you? Is that Totu? Yeah, amazing. Great stuff. All right, so I'm just speaking to Ramsey. He's going to go onto a PlayStation so that we can hear him. So Mr. Bean, Spin, Finstech, GK, Bass, Gord, Martin, Joe, Justin, Free Guy, Jay, LFC, and some others are your order. Apologies, just trying to sort the audio out for the race. So there should be about a 2-minute break now, whilst the drivers choose tyres, strategies, fuel loads. And I believe there's no formation lap, so we will then jump straight into the race. But as Ramsey was saying, actually sort of out of shot of you guys because of the audio issues. Very, very good qualifying session, very tight. As I said, I think top 12 or 13 within about a second of each other. That's very decent. I mean, even by real F1 standards, that's very, very, very good. In fact, better than real F1. So, yeah, good signs. Ramsey, how is it going? Oh, wow. Well, let's go. Lights out, away we go already. So someone readying up a little bit early. Mr. Bean, not the best of starts. And Spin and Win says, thank you very much. Finsec and GK Bass in the background. Bit of contact, perhaps? No. Somehow Finsec and GK Bass avoid contact, but Finsec over the curb. That has allowed Gourd Source now into the battle for P, potentially 4, all over the back of GK Bass. Will he go for the late move? Yes, he does. Amazing to avoid action, as there is a flying car, flying ass of the Urgent Moss, who got tagged and went sideways into a bundle of cars, and I think wrecked maybe 1 or 2 other drivers. No idea exactly what caused it, but I did see Justin and Urgic with a massive sideways contact, I think maybe moving under braking, and it just snowballed into that right hand turn, and I think at least 2 drivers are now compromised from that. Or if they're not, I mean, I have no idea how they're not, because right into the side pod of someone. So yeah, chaos, and a VSC is what we have. Dr. J, yeah, Dr. J does not look to have has done too well from that. So both Red Bulls having a bit of a nightmare. Yeah. Yeah. Let's check. No, it's fine, it's fine. That makes even less sense because include party audio. It's okay. Have you allowed your voice to be shared within parties? Because I think you have to set it as well. On my side, it's definitely set. Yeah, it's probably that. Yeah, but I can confirm that definitely from my side it's set up, and like when Hoop and others join parties, it's absolutely fine. But you know, good to check though. Right, anyway, so we have, let's go through the details, apologies. So we have Spin and Win on the hard tyre leading the race. So I mean, the perfect start for him. Amazing stuff. Otherwise, most of your runners are on medium tyres, but you can see them all below. Joe and Dr. J, Mr. Bean on the medium. I mean, important to note, something that happened with Mr. Bean that has caused a bit of an issue, so we had to pit. So down 15 places. Joe down 10. So I think, you know, when I definitely saw a McLaren get a very unfortunate contact, let's say, with, I think, flying cars. So I'm guessing it was him, unfortunately, that came out quite badly from that. But yeah, otherwise everyone else is kind of gentle gainers. I mean, Marchena up 8 is absolutely insane though, so big shout out to him. And Toe 2, I've been asked to spectate him. I mean, we gave some decent coverage in quali, but he's up 4, so that's good to see. VSE still in effect. The question is, when will it end? It normally favours someone. I think that's always the inherent downside. As Tar Heels chooses to go into the pits, I think his car was okay, so maybe a tactical change onto mediums, but he has chosen to pit. It does allow at least Mr. Bean and Joe to gain 1 place.
Do you know if Mr. Bean had damage, or does it just like a strategical?
Okay, so first of all, Ramsey, I want to say that we can now hear your voice. So just maybe someone in the chat just confirm you should be able to hear Ramsey now. Welcome.
Yeah, I believe we can. They can hear me.
Oh, amazing, great stuff. Sorry, back to you. What was your question again?
Did Mr. Bean have damage, or did he just pit to gain an advantage?
I actually did not see what went on with him. That's the only one I can't explain. I don't think he was caught up with the issues with the flying Hassan Red Bull. I think that was Joe. So yeah, I'm honestly not sure with Mr. Bean. Maybe he just had a little bit of contact and it was all missed. Safety car is in this lap.
Switch to a medium tire, so difficult recovery for Mr. Bean.
Yeah, well, I'll try and concentrate now, because honestly, I thought it was a VSC. I swear it was saying VSC on my MDF, but I probably just missed the fact.
Yeah,
that
it did for a long time. It's one of the new bugs. Features, sorry.
Features. All right, let's look in now.
Bean must have been disconnected too. Maybe the AI pinged him. A new place is
Yeah,
left. I'm
unless
gonna
he's
try
just
to
pausing
invite him.
under SC. I know some drivers do pause. There's a few, but right, spin and win. He's gone. He's gone very early, and I think he's caught Finsec almost out by surprise. Good restart, nice and sensible. No one looking too aggressive through there. We do have Mr. Bean going into the pit again, so I'd imagine AI control, because that's just insane. Wow, really unfortunate for him. Mysterious makes the move. I think Noob is maybe in a bit of trouble. I think ran wide, had a bit of an issue. Craig has been penalised for overtaking under yellow flags as Toe overtakes his teammate J7 and takes 7th place. So quite a lot of things going on all at the same time. We've got Marchena and Butler. Butler all over the back of Marchena. Is he going to try and dive down the inside late on the brakes? I think he will. Oh, that might end a bit badly. Okay, I was expecting the tag on the wheels to end a lot worse than that, but gets away with it. Marchena keeps the position, and DRS Maestro moves into position to try and overtake Butler. Isn't able to do so. In the meantime, weird camera angle, but Joe getting past the ghosted noob, so I think there's more connection issues. Thank you, Woe, for confirming the audio. I think Dr. J should get this move done as well. Oh, whoa, but goes into the back. Dr. J goes into the back of Noob, and that sends him flying. But in the meantime, yellow flags, I think, just from that bit of contact. Tiles into the pit again. That's yeah, I'm a bit confused by Tiles going into the pit again, unless he has damage. Right, anyway, so all sorts of things going on further up the field. Toe2 is alongside with Free Guy. So he got the move done on J7 LFC, and now he's getting the move done on Joe, I believe. Can he hold on? Yeah. Good stuff. Up into P6 for Toe2.
Nice, nice. In the meantime, Finsec has made a spin and win. Spin and win a bit disadvantaged on the hard tires right now, but this will do him really well in the long run, and he's holding on amazingly well right now. His pace pretty much matched with the mediumers in the front. I also have some confirmation from our Discord chat. Mr. Bean just misjudged there, thought that the safety car would come out earlier, and that's why he pitted. So a misjudgment. We'll see how he can make it back up.
Oh wow.
Noob is disconnected. I just sent him an invite. But yeah, very tight battle at the front. There are 5 cars basically within what, 2.
Yeah, absolute chaos. Oh, the late move by Spin and Win. Does that take GK Bass by surprise? I think it does, but it's now a traction battle. That allows Finsec, though, into the equation, perhaps. And I think that very much compromises Spin and Win. So I think Spin and Win will fall down to 3rd under braking. But Spin and Win fights it on the hard tyre as hard as he can, but ultimately runs out of track. So Finsec says thank you very much, takes P2. Great racing, though. As you say, this top 5 battle is looking absolutely incredible. J7, though, Craig and Toe.
We're gonna see this all race long here. The track is so short, the DRS is so strong, that it really depends on how the top 3, 4, 5 here are approached. If they battle each other, that would be helpful to everyone behind. If they just strategically keep passing each other, they might be able to drive away. They do have a considerable gap already, 4 seconds to P. But yeah, and the tires are actually quite equal on pace, especially after a few laps. The hard just lasts a lot longer, so I believe the medium runners will have a bit of an advantage if they use a good undercut window there. And then it'll be all on Spin and Win. Might end by himself a bit for parts of the race, which can benefit him in terms of clear air, but the DRS is so powerful. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, well said. Toe, J7 and Craig, again, still fighting. This time, Craig, I think, ran a little bit wide. Loses out on this occasion. But yeah, really good racing from all of them. Let me go back on board with Spin and Win. He's within a 10th of Finsec. So it's really, really close racing, as Ramsey perfectly explained. DRS so powerful. But they are, I mean, no one's really, the top 5 are pulling away. And then there's kind of a little battle between 6th and 11th, or 6th and 12th, actually. So that's 2 very impressively long trains there. J7 getting
Just
past his
looking at
teammate.
the.
Craig as well. Maybe pushes Toe a little bit on the outside, but takes P7. Sorry, what was that, Ramsey?
Don't worry. Yeah, very tight battle
Oh,
there
Martin
between
has
the six and
spun. The classic going on the inside line of that right-hander and then putting the power down too early and sends you round. So that'll drop him right down the order.
Wow, that's going to be very costly. Loses 7 positions. Just looking at the data here, it's the top 5 have about a second in hand, or top 4 now over the rest of the. So that will probably not just be the DRS, the disadvantage there, all sticking to each other. So it's going to be very tight down to a last lap, a little shootout at the end. We'll see what the race has to offer. Of course, we still have 8 laps to go.
Yep. Perhaps more safety cars in store. There is a car sat in the pits, I think. Yeah.
Try to send out some invites again.
Yeah, that was Mr. Bean. So that was Mr. Bean retiring, I believe. So yeah, commiserations. His race is run. In the meantime, Spin and Win, GK and Finsick, and GK is going for the lead, and I think he'll get DRS as well. Yeah, beautiful there. So times the braking to get DRS, dives down the inside, knows that he'll have the straight line advantage, and takes the lead of the race. Great move.
Yeah, very tight racing. Very too bad for Mr. Bean. Definitely one of the contenders for the championship here in season 12. Very quick guy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Toe pushes Free Guy a little bit on the outside, really tight racing. Then that allows Marchain to come at Free Guy. So they're now racing side by side. Marchain on the outside line, a little bit compromised, let's say, and that allows their Mysterious to go in. But I think they then make contact. A little bit naughty. Meanwhile, oh my word! Okay, whoa. Toe 2 having to rejoin the circuit. That almost caused chaos. Okay, safety car. What happened? What caused the safety car?
I'm not quite sure. DRS Master 17th is missing a front wing.
Maybe it was just
must have crashed out by himself.
That's what I'm thinking. So I'm related to all the chaos that was just going on. But interestingly, wow, Mysterious given a 10-second penalty for a collision with Marchainer. Where on earth when did that happen? I mean, Marchainer's really far down the road. Bit confused by that one, but some drivers were able to jump into the box or into the pits as soon as the safety car came out, but many actually flew right past. In theory, that should be okay, because all the cars have driven past the safety car, but we'll have to see what happens. But certainly a slightly odd order, as I think P11, P11 to 14 have all boxed. The top 10 have not.
Yeah, very interesting. If I was on mediums, I would definitely pit now. Like the pit window opens as early as lap 12 for the medium. The cars last quite long. If you want, especially if you want a bit of an advantage on Spin and Win there, the hard tires, I would definitely pit right now. If I was, and so they are. They're all. Even Spin and Win actually. Oh, and that's gonna be a double stack for the Alpines. That's gonna be
devastating.
Losing a bit of time here.
To be fair, I don't think that hurt him too much. Good source.
And Joe elected to stay out.
Oh wow!
Already on the hearts.
Yeah, surprised by Joe, surprised by Spin and Win. Guess that they are maybe expecting further safety cars. And now the runners that did pit have come out. Have they gained? To be fair, I think things have sorted themselves out. So Dr. J, I mean that makes more sense. Choosing not to pit, but it has rewarded him. He's all the way up to P6, so I can understand the logic there. Noob hasn't yet pit in 11th. That's an interesting one. And Tyre Hill's pitting again. I feel like this may be Tyre Hill's third pit stop. Close to going back onto existing tyre territory. In fact, has he already done that? Yeah. So he's already gone on to a U set of mediums because of the amount of pit stops. So he's 2 laps old. Right, so let's have a look now at what's gone on with this pretty chaotic race. So Joe up 6 places but hasn't yet pit. GK Bass has been very strong. Good move for the lead up to. Spin and Win had a great start. but was on the hard tyre. So that's kind of worked in his favour, going on to the mediums perhaps. But well, there's so many laps to go, it may actually have hurt him, to be honest. But either way, he's having a solid race, down 3. We've got Dr. J and Butler up 10. I think the safety car worked in their favour, but in Dr. J's case, he is not pit. Free Guy's been really strong, solid racing up 1. Martin down 3 because of the spin, but otherwise was doing well. I think Toto similar race, like having a good strong race, good pace, but had a bit of I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I think got pushed, went a bit wide, let's say. But yeah, everyone else pretty solid. Marchena up 6. So yeah, good racing throughout the field, and obviously the safety car will bunch everyone up, although it was pretty bunched up already. How have you found it so far, Ramsey?
Yeah, very, very intense, very tight. So the safety car bunching everyone up again. So the little advantage that the top 4 or 5 had there is basically gone. It's going to be interesting to see how well Joe can hold on. He has a bit of a penalty. I think it's just a 3-second. I can't see it right now, but if the drive standards continue the way they are, which they weren't super bad or anything, they're just very, very tight. So things can happen, right? He may actually, you know, if we get another safety car or even a virtual, he may come out on top here. He's up 6 positions, so that could maybe that's what he's gambling on.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks a lot. Good insight there. Drivers desperately weaving, so I'm guessing they're expecting perhaps the safety car to come in. Maestro is a little bit behind. Haven't really been keeping an eye on his delta to see if what speed he's been going at. But he may actually inadvertently cause another lap of safety car. Yep, I think there'll be one more lap. Unless the game calls it at the last second, which would be insane. Yeah, so one more lap of S2. It's a bit unfortunate because I mean the grid is clearly ready to go, but yeah, the way it times it is all to do with sectors, and I think 1 or 2 of the cars were a little bit slow joining up. So yeah, Toto with a 3-second penalty, Joe with a 3-second, and Maestro with a 3-second. So I mean, actually, that's not bad for Austria on lap 13. I mean, there's been a lot of incidents, but this is a very traditional penalty receiving race, let's say. Many drivers will get track limits. I can't remember the last time I did a race around here at 50% without getting a 3-second penalty. It's just so easy to go past those white lines.
Yeah. Yeah, I was part of the practice race yesterday, and was doing quite well towards through the race, had no penalties, but then ended up with 6 seconds, and honestly, I don't think there was anyone who was below 3, and I've seen some drivers get as high as 12. So we may, right now, it's actually quite impressive how few people have a penalty, but that could change quite quickly.
Yeah, and the safety car will be coming in this lap, so see even more tyre warming going on. And I think the question will be, how will Joe fare on these 11-lap-old hards against fresh rubber behind him?
Yeah, and I just booted up my telemetry app on my phone here. It finally connected, so I'll be able to give you some live lap times, especially comparison here between Joe and the others on the fresh hards. It'll be very interesting to see.
Amazing stuff.
We also have.
Let's see how Joe restarts this race. He's leaving it quite late, so it's allowed GK to bunch right up. This is a bit worrying for Joe, I'll be honest. He's left it to the last second, so GK Bass is able to race alongside. Traditionally, this causes chaos when a driver restarts late. 4 cars side by side into the distance. Side by side going on. There's 2 Red Bull, Williams, Mercedes. All sorts going on alongside here. Gord Source up. Free Guy had some sort of incident but missed it. Finsec all over the back of Joe. He's going to go for the move around the outside. He's got to hold it in there. Good line and good traction and exit. Oh, and Joe spun, and I think he's out. Maybe out. Let me stay on board though with the other drivers because there's too much going on. But he's lost a front wing. Did he lose a front right tyre? No. So he's still racing, but he is well and truly at the back of the pack now. Bit of incident with GK Bass as well, which I completely missed with that sideways action. Did you catch anything there, Ramsey? Something must have happened.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me say it, but basically Finsick went down the inside into turn 1. Very Max Verstappen-esque, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a report, but he was alongside at the apex, so technically a legal move, I think, but yeah, basically GK Bass was pushed out wide onto the yellow curb, and it's not uncommon for a car to spin out there.
Yeah, so much going on, all from that SC restart. I mean, there were three groups of cars almost. I think there was a 4x1, 4x1, and a 3x1 going into turn one. It was never getting on too well. So Spinnerman now on the faster tyre, but I'm not sure how he'll make it to the end on these, but looking strong, doing what he needs to do, trying to get the move done on Spinner. Will he also go for Gord? Sorry, will he also go for Finsick? So he's got the move past Gord, not Finsick, I should say, up to P2. And LFC and Toe, they've been almost glued to each other for the majority of this race. I'm not sure if they know each other, but they are teammates. Racing well though, 7th and 8th. Noob has Free Guy for company on the inside. Great move. Great move from Free Guy to take 9th place there.
Yeah, very close battles. Free Guy experienced racing him in the practice today. Very elbows up, but also.
Oh, hold up, Ramsey. Sorry, spin and win
very
for the lead.
Racer.
Sorry to cut in there. Spin and win takes the lead. Try not to miss that now.
Don't worry.
We missed the earlier one. Nice one. Sorry, back to you.
No worries. No, very good move. Spin really needs to make this count. He is on the medium tire, which will drop off. So he has to do every hour to try to pull away. It's extremely difficult around Austria.
So 1 second, Toe. Sorry, more action. Toe brake way too late. Had to dive across the inside of the corner to avoid contact and got a 3-second penalty. But I think even with doing that, he pushed someone off the track. I think it was Craig, who comes off really badly, loses a ton of places. And I think LFC got a little bit compromised. That allowed Noob to come through. But that was a nice move under braking from Noob. But yeah, massive chain reaction from that. Basically what was 3 into 1 almost in the end. But somehow they all survived.
Yeah, and they keep fighting. They keep fighting. That lets in Craig. Super intense battling in the top 10. Amazing stuff. It was actually pretty clean too, apart from the first incident there. Oh, it gets a 3-second time penalty. We had a quick yellow flag from Dr. J, but I think everything's good. GK Bass actually catching up pretty quick to the back of the field, so he's not completely out of this yet.
No. J7 running a little bit wide on the exit of turn 1, so it allows Craig to close up a little bit more. But that's okay, J7's still in the DRS range of Toe 2 in front. And now it's about Free Guy trying to get the best traction possible to maybe overtake Butler. Let's see. It is crazy how much the overspeed kicks in towards the end of this straight. Yeah, very late move. Oh, I think Butler attempted to do like sort of the switcheroo, let's say, but I don't know if he was expecting Free Guy to go in as deep as he did. I think a bit mistimed by Butler perhaps, and he's lost an end plate. So I think that he may struggle to hold this position, but for now he has managed to hold off Free Guy. And that's allowed Toe 2 back in this race. Could get a bit chaotic from here now if Butler is a little bit compromised through these corners.
Very cool overhead shots right now. So many cars on the same straight. We have basically, what is this, P5 to P13 on the straight.
Oh, another penalty for Toe 2, so I think that puts him on 6 seconds now. So we desperately need to get past these two. He's going to be in trouble here perhaps. Oh, there's a lot of cars side by side. Somehow they keep it relatively clean.
Toe is actually on 9 seconds already, so.
Oh wow! So many cars in shot here.
Maybe he should take it a bit easier.
Oh, Craig with a very late move. Very late move on Toe 2, sort of forces him wide a little bit there. And J7 did a good job earlier as well, getting up into P6.
Oh, and Craig accidentally, I believe, shoved off Toe. He's in the grass.
Oh no!
Oh, the drivers are definitely building sequences here in this.
Oh, now. And Toe, I think, yeah, it doesn't. Toe, yeah, I think Toe did it.
Toe unfortunately retires on track. That's not okay, and hopefully that doesn't cause a safety car.
Yeah, Toe, I can understand the frustration. Maybe driving into the wall on purpose is not the answer, of course, but Yeah, unfortunately, mate, I did
Yeah.
catch that on the stream that you drove into the wall on purpose, so that unfortunately will get brought up to the stewards. So
Yeah.
free guy, 2 temps down on P5. Doing a great job, actually, has to be said. No penalties as well, which could well be crucial. But actually, a lot of the top runners being very, very clean. And in the meantime, I've not really spoken about it, but the battle for P1 still goes on. Finsec did take the place back a while ago. Spin and win, they're all over the back of Finsec. Wow, great aggression and exit from Spin and Win. Quite a comfortable overtake into turn 1. I know sometimes drivers don't mind that because ultimately you're gearing up to get DRS onto sort of the main sort of back straight into sector 2. So let's see how that all plays out. But as it stands, Spin and Win is your race leader on lap 20 of 23. And the top 4 are so close.
Yeah, this is gonna go ahead until the end of the race. I'm very, very curious to see how Spin's tires will hold on. A big lock up into this corner from him. This has sent the top guys from the midfield even further, but there's obviously a lot of fighting in the midfield as well. Again, we still have P5 to P13 all in one big cluster. GK Bass has just caught up to all of them, so it's gonna be a hell of a job to get past everyone, which is surely will be his goal. And maybe, he's liking the situation because he might not be able to catch up with the front guys, but he actually has a chance to get back to 5. He has a lot of pace.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, commiserations, Toto. It did look as though you were had a bit of an unfortunate incident being pushed off. It did seem like that, which is a shame. So of course, you can absolutely report it. I mean, in general, the races here pretty clean. Finsec though, getting past Spin and Win, and with DRS, so got to jump onto that one. Great move, nice last ditch move, and that really compromises Spin and Win again. A bit of a repeat actually from earlier in the race, where if you get overtaken down the inside and they get DRS, you're then left exposed with no DRS, and you can very easily lose 2 places. But great defending from Spin and Win on those mediums to hold off Martin and actually only lose 1 place. So he's still very much in the hunt. This is great racing. But yeah, anyone racing or anyone that's thinking of joining the league, there are stewards. So the racing in general is clean. If things do happen, you can absolutely report it, and they'll look at it, apply it fairly. Just the main thing is don't retire on track, and don't deliberately try and crash into walls. Because that's all I would say on that one.
Yeah, I think Toe should definitely report that earlier incident as well. It looked to me like the tires hooked at each other. I'm sure you've experienced it as well on this game. It can just happen, and the contact model is not the best in those situations. So even though it may have looked like pushed him off, sometimes it's just the way it worked. As I predicted earlier, we have a lot of penalties now. Most people on 3 seconds. When it was caught on stream earlier, GK Bass actually had such a good move on Mysterious into turn 3. Amazing dive bomb, but fair. But then unfortunately got a little loose on turn 1 and lost the position again. And then people in the midfield are just constantly swapping positions. It's really hard to stay on top of it.
Yeah, just look at the full track map from
Yeah.
Craig down. It's absolutely insane. This is so good. And yeah, just replied to Wotu in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I can understand all that. Yeah, hope to see you at the next race. Head up and everything, and I'm sure Stuart's gonna look at whatever needs to be looked at. But yeah, worth a look at the rules. I don't remember all the rules word for word, so I'm not going to comment on all of it. It's one for the stewards. As Butler, does take the move off Craig. I would say does push Craig wide though, as we've seen a couple of times earlier in this race. That allows Noob through on Craig. How will he respond? And actually, Noob looking super feisty. Is he going to go for a move here? A lot of cars side by side. Oh, Noob running a little bit wide.
On the curve.
Yeah, survives though. Survives, gains DRS, and will be eyeing up Butler. It's a good drive on
Yeah,
the
Butler's
Ferrari.
also
Oh, but a
missing that
good move
plate.
by Marchena, perhaps. That was good racing from Marchena. I think, he had the right to go down the inside there. Very nice on the brakes. But yeah, good defending from Noob.
Absolutely.
Great racing.
This has allowed J7 and Free Guy to detach themselves. They're just cementing their position in P5 and 6 now. They're able to
Good
drive
spot.
away, pull each other along with the DRS. So if they work together, they just keep passing each other. They may have a chance here to actually catch up to the front runners.
Yeah, great shout. And Martin, remember, Martin had that unfortunate spin earlier, but he is up into P4, looking super, super strong with his pace. And spin and win now. And Finsec, it's this whole battle of DRS, the classic Austria battle for DRS down this straight. Finsec coming off on top this time, so remains in first place.
Oh, Craig's the first one to get the 6 seconds, so that's going to cost them a lot if everybody else stays clean.
Marchena going for another late move. Perfect on the brakes yet again. I think that's fair. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, I think Noob could probably claim that warning back because I think he was slightly pushed wide. That's when he got the 3 seconds. So if he's listening, I think you could, if you only end up with one warning over on like the threshold, I think report that one, take that off. But good racing though, good side by side racing.
So for some of the stat nerds among us, so it looks like the DRS is gaining people roughly 4/10 in Sector 1. Seems to be the difference in the sector times between the leader and the guys behind him. And being in the lead is hugely beneficial in Sector 2. So it capitalizes that way, but it's not enough to pull away.
Oh, Martin spun again! Oh no! And Martin, he's reset to track.
No.
Oh no, Martin. Yeah, again, for those that are
Shoot.
new, you can't do that either. If you spin, you have to recover the spin yourself as if you're driving in real life. So unfortunately, that is a slam dunk. I think 20-second penalty. I will be completely honest with you. It's something very high. I think it's 20 seconds. So please, to anyone listening, do not do that unless you're stuck. If you're stuck on a grate or you're binned or you're in a game glitch or something, absolutely do it. But if you get caught recessing, it won't end well. His race is over, let's be honest. So that is an unfortunate one. But spin and win meanwhile, and Finsec having a great battle for the lead, and it's really interesting. It's this whole game of DRS chess, and spin and win played it really well on the last lap, and yet again he's gone for that late move down the inside, and then he's happy to accept, it seems, because it's the third lap in a row he's done this, not having DRS. But now Gord is saying he's had enough. And yeah, it's great racing. But yeah, interesting strategies there. I think spin and win maybe he's backing himself with just confident maybe with low wings. That he maybe doesn't need DRS and he just wants track position down that inside.
Yeah. Finsec has the obvious advantage now. Everyone around him has pens, so he could go into a bit of a different mood. Preserve and stay in touch, guys. If he stays clean, he has the win in the bag. So maybe it's time to not let the guys around him shake him too much and bring this one home.
Well said. Let me just cover the battle for the lead. I have to just quickly reply to a message on Discord.
Oh, no worries. Noob, I believe, is in the pits. Wondering, that's going for the soft here, or no? That's actually putting on a set of medium. That's interesting. I was not sure. Maybe he didn't pit yet. I'm not aware. Sorry. It's breaking up a little bit now. Spears has fallen off the midfield battle. GK Bass kicking his way. Got a second, just got a first penalty and moving up to P7 on the back straight. So as predicted before, he does still have a chance to score a pretty good point here. Is obviously in reserve today, but Marchena grabs the position. Amazing send by Marchena. and immediately gets up to a half a second ahead. So maybe he has a bit more pace in the tank here.
Yeah, it's been great to see Marchena so late on the brakes and confident. Good overtakes, and yeah, playing a bit of a long game as well, up to P7. I mean, GK Bass, though, working his way up through the grid. Really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, has very good pace. What is his last? He actually holds the fastest lap, I believe.
And sorry, in the meantime, Spin and Win and Finsec side by side for your race lead. Gordsource watching on in the background. He is now alongside with Finsec, who comes off a little bit worse wear on the outside. Gordsource, is he going to try and run it around the outside? He is. He's holding it in there, but it's going to be very hard to gain the place. Finsec is almost conceding it, though, and Gordsource, perfect line and traction through the outside line. Great sequence of corners. Really worked hard all the way back from sort of turn 3 to make that move. And it's given Spin and Win probably his biggest gap he's had in laps of half a second over now Gordsource, and Finsec will have to regroup and try and come back. Got, I think, 7 laps remaining, so plenty of time still to go. But great fighting for the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, smart play by Finsec. He knows he has the advantage, obviously, with having the penalty, and it's important for Gordsource to lose touch with Spin and Win, as they're on the same amount of penalties. He does have the tire advantage. Those mediums will be aching now. So it's all about these two really fighting each other, and then Finsec could pick up the scraps either way.
Yeah, great comments. Meanwhile,
and also Free Guy and J7 battling each other.
I think J7's got the move, but Free Guy will get DRS, that old chestnut, so I think it'll be, an easy reclaim, but let's see, because battery is so important. You know, if you can follow up a dive down the inside with battery use, it can work out. But Free Guy's so good on the brakes there, going down the outside, and actually taking back P5. Really good racing by those two.
Yeah, impressive that he got it stopped there. I saw him off already. The fighting at the front is also benefiting Martin. He's catching up. He was around 5 seconds behind, is now 2.5. Obviously, he got a huge advantage by that reset to track, so that's something will have to be looked at. But as of now, he is catching.
Yeah, that's really impressive actually from Martin to have spun not once but twice and recover. Yeah, it's clearly got natural, phenomenal pace. Spin and Win, Gordsource this time diving down the inside, goes to the outside line. That is very nice driving there, good car control. Spin and Win slightly compromised from that, and Finsec says thank you very much. Will he go for the move for the lead? No, happy to settle for the 1 place overtake. And these three, I think, will be going at it till the end. But as Ramsey so well said earlier, Finsec with no penalties, and that is crucial. Craig and Marchena, I feel like they've just been in the battles all race, but this time GK Bass is in there with his pure natural pace and talent, trying to get past this lot, I think it's safe to be said. Dives to the outside, interesting move there, I quite like that. Keeping very close to the back of Craig and also protecting himself in the process. So great battle. Let me just double check the penalties, because it's going to be so crucial, not if you have a penalty, but how many for a lot of these drivers. So Free Guy with 3 seconds, but Craig with 6. So yeah, Craig looking very much worse for wear out of that group.
Yeah, and out of that group, we actually... So Craig, Bass, and Butler are all missing an end plate. Marchena will have a little bit better conditions going in the corners here. But yeah, GK Bass cannot detach himself from this group. Obviously, as we said many times, very, very difficult with the DRS being so powerful and the batteries. You know, if you know what you're doing, you can recharge it quite quickly. It actually allowed Mysterious to catch up to these guys. He was a bit gone, and Tar Heels in 12th is now on the back of all of these guys, and he does not have a penalty. So that puts Tar Heels, amazingly, that puts Tar Heels in P7, and someone just got up.
Oh, there's a front wing, there's a safety car. Oh, wow.
Wow, so everyone's going to bunch up. We're going to have
that's a weird place. That is a weird place to off. He was off halfway down that straight. I saw his front wing just fly down the straight. But was he boxed? Was he sandwiched out?
Very strange. Just like an immediate loss of traction all of a sudden out of nowhere. Very strange. So most likely everyone going to pit here. Oh, Martin actually stayed out. Might be extremely costly for him.
That can't be right. Oh, wow.
No, especially the leaders, they all had a huge gap.
Yeah,
no constant pitting there.
Oh, that's unfortunate for
Might get
Martin.
swapped here.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be stuck behind the safety car now, so if he pits now, he's gonna have a lot of time. And and there's a double stack with Marchena and Craig as Craig's changing his wing.
Oh
No!
no! Oh, that's so unfortunate. I mean, makes sense for Craig, of course, to pit in that way because he was missing the end plate. But oh, for Marchena, I mean, I still think he did the right thing. I think you're still best pitting onto the soft tire because you're just dead against. If you've got worn hards
Oh
against fresh
yeah.
softs, you're dead. But it's just so unfortunate. There's nothing you can do in his position. I mean, it's not cost him too much in the end. Maybe I think one place, but it happens. The interesting one, of course, will be, I mean, free guy J7 Martin. Absolutely, track positions are important. I think for J7 and free guy, it makes more sense because they have gained track positions by staying out, and if the safety car comes in at the end of lap 33, maybe onto lap 34, that means 4, 5, and 6, so 3 flying laps. So yeah, I can see the logic there. I think
Yeah.
Martin is the biggest loser. I mean, even Finsek on a medium, I'm surprised by not going for the soft.
He must have used up all of his tires in quali.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, the hards are basically at the end of their life. So that it's gonna be extremely difficult to defend against the soft runners. I still see Finsick here with a really high chance of winning this just because there's no penalty.
Yes.
Gorsov is going to be rapid from fourth on brand new soft. Big winners of this safety car, I would say Tar Heels in eighth on brand new softs with no penalty. Also GK Bass, who was last at one point, coming back the order. So even Spinwin, whose knees were completely dead, and he was holding on basically to smart ERS management and the DRS. He's going to be happy about, I believe. So it's a very intense 3 laps. Whenever the safety car will come in, I honestly don't think the guys in the rear, 12, 13, 14, I don't think the safety car is going to win.
You think it because it's towards the end of the race, it will go in anyway to allow the 3 flying laps? I can't remember if the game forces it. I can't remember if the game forces there to be 3 final laps or 2. I genuinely can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the safety car is still staying out now, so it looks like they are going to catch up.
Yeah, I think they've
laps.
got away with it because I do think the game's program that it has to allow the final 2 laps to be flying. So I think they've just got away with it in this case. But yeah, I mean, one thing about J7, I mean, I'm bouncing off what you've been saying really about the whole penalty situation. I mean, J7, I think that was actually a really smart move not to pit. Not only because, of course, he was lower down, so obviously gaining track position was great. But as you say, no penalty for him means that even on worn hards, let's say he gets theoretically swallowed up and loses 5 places within like the next couple of laps. I mean, with the fact he's got no penalty, he probably ends up jumping them all anyway, unless they can gain 3 seconds on him in the space of 2 laps within DRS train. So that could be inspired. And I mean, for Finsick as well, another thing I didn't even think about until you were speaking earlier, so great insights there. J7 could act as a bit of a buffer, depending on how things go. So even being on the medium, I mean, if J7 fights with Gourd Source or Spin and Win and costs them a second, I mean, that should be enough for Finsick to see it through. So I would say, yeah, Finsick's race to lose.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about J7. I didn't realize that basically the 4 drivers behind him all have penalties. One of them is on hards. So he might even get a podium here, though, unless he gets a penalty, of course. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I'm very intrigued what's going to happen here.
This is scary stuff.
We might see a calamity. There's a chance of a calamity here, but we'll see.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Very slow restart by Martin. He's perfectly entitled to do this. You know, waiting for the safety car to get in, and before he goes, absolutely fair. Of course, very conscious of his tyres. The question of, I mean, he's allowed himself the opportunity to launch very early. I mean, certainly better than waiting till the very last second and having massive groups of 4 cars. Oh, Gord has been given 10 seconds, probably for the lightest tap of all time. Because I know how this game works.
Yeah.
If you kiss someone...
And he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Now, Finsick read that, though, like a book.
Great start by Martin.
Yeah. No, Finsick, I think, read the restart by Martin well, but it caught J7 out. So Finsec was able to read it, but going early did
Hmm.
catch J7. I will say it was a bit telegraphed. I mean, when you leave that big a gap to the safety car, it does normally mean a driver's going to go early. And Finsec, I think, saw that. But now they're going side by side for the race win, for the race lead. Of course, Martin with the penalty. Yeah, Finsec going around
Yeah,
the
I
outside,
don't.
maybe
I
off the
think
track.
Martin would be smart by him to not fight Fitzik,
Yes.
and just try to hang on to him.
Couldn't agree more. I think that was an inevitable move, as you say, but good move nonetheless by Finsec, who takes the lead, looking super strong. J7 as well. He's only lost. I mean, kind of missed that in the restart. Looking at the race lead, of course, got to take priority. But J7 down to fifth, but that's not a bad at all. Again, as we were saying earlier, so that's a decent restart for a driver on such old tyres. Tar Heels staying in ninth place, racing really well. It's so good to see Tar Heels having a good performance and always a clean driver. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure last week he didn't get any warnings. I think he was given 3 bonus points or something for that. So great to see from Tar Heels. Gordsaw setting the fastest lap, so he obviously has something to say about Martin's position. And it'll be interesting to see, as we are now in the last race, how will Martin and J7 sort of fare. I mean, J7's got a 1.5 gap over Bass, so it's pretty much perfection for J7. The podium is looking so
do we
strong
have
for
another
him.
safety car?
No.
Oh no, my MD is bugged. So yeah, Craig is really trying to get past you,
Oh,
Bass
one sec,
here,
one sec,
but it's
sorry.
not
So fight
gonna.
here for second.
Oh,
So
go ahead.
Martin, Gordsaw, spin and win. So Martin holding around the outside. Gordsaw says, thank you very much. Martin then gets pushed a little bit wide, perhaps, and a spin and win then gets through. So going all ever so slightly wrong for Martin, but I think maybe inevitable. I think holding off the 3 cars in front was a very tall order. So yeah, that is
Yeah.
an unfortunate end for that. But anyway, great racing. And unless there's anything going on behind, I think we're on board now with Finsik, who is about to cross the line and will be your round 2 PRL winner. Congratulations to Finsik.
Yeah.
Great drive.
Maybe in the debut. DK Bass picks up another penalty. He
Oh,
out of
and
frustration.
so
Tar
and so
Heels
did
picks up a
Gordsource.
P5.
Oh,
Yeah,
because of
Gortsov had
Gordsource's
that
10
10 seconds.
second. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, all the cars were so close together, almost impossible to call out the finish. But I think everyone knows it's all going to come down to penalties. So let's wait for the official classification. I think there will be some stewards' reports as well. But Finsik with a fantastic drive. I think that was a deserved win.
Yeah, very good. I do believe we're on to the stewards will be very, very busy after this race. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see who is gonna end up winning this race. I saw in the beginning of the race there was some moments where people were pushed a bit wide. So we'll see what happens. But that was extremely entertaining.
Wow. Yeah, so glad to have you alongside Ramsey for that one. That was yeah, very, very interesting. I mean, Austria always throws up races like this. But anyway, let's take a look at the final classification. Big shout out to Gordsource as well with the fastest lap. Although the 13 seconds of penalties, I mean, that final 10 second is just so ridiculous. But anyway, I didn't design the game. But let's go through the classification. So Finsik takes the win, fully deserved, great result, well done to him. Finnish driver, spin and win, second place, very good driving, very good driver. J7 takes third, congratulations, keeping it clean. Martin, Tar Heels, DJ, Marchena, Bast, Craig, Butler, Free Guy Joe, Gord, Noob, Mysterious, Toe, DRS, Mr. Bean, the Urgic Moss, and Justin rounds off your grid, a massive grid, and not enough time to go through it. But yeah, great
Yeah,
race.
great race and big shout out to Tar Heels. 6 tire counts, 5 stops, no penalties, P5 starting basically from the back. My driver of the day.
Love that, love that. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know who I'd give driver to the day to. I think J7 definitely super solid. Had loads of wheel to wheel battles. And obviously FinTech as well, just impressive. GK Bass definitely honourable mention. He loads of good performance. I think I liked Marchena's performance as well. I saw lots of solid overtakes from him, and I think actually spin and win, solid race, good race start as well. Was always in there. Could have won that race on another day.
Yeah, spin and win. Definitely a bit unlucky. He started on the hards, right? Risked it. Got the safety car at that time. So a
Yep.
little bit of parallels to today's real life race, maybe. But Yeah, great pace from him as always. Spin and win is amazingly fast. I'm very curious to see the the tickets, to be honest, because I think there will be a lot of them. And yeah, very, very curious. Great race.
Yeah, yeah.
And so glad to see a full grid. That's awesome.
Yes, yeah, PRO with a full 20, just incredible stuff. And to for on a positive note as well, a lot of new drivers, which ultimately is what we want. And you can't always expect new drivers to know intricate rules of different leagues. When they turn up, I know like you're meant to read the rule book, but there's a lot of rules, and I think everyone's pretty pretty understanding of drivers when they start out. So things like reset to track, or I've broken my rear wing. Can I just retire on the track, or do I have to try and crawl it into the pits? These things do change from league to league. So I think I'm hoping that there'll be some leniency, you know, for the drivers that are new, because
Yeah.
we want to allow people to race here. We want to grow the server, and keep
Oh,
people. So
absolutely.
only time will tell, of course, with what the stewards do. But anyway, I think with that, we should sign off, Ramsey. Thank you so much for joining me for round two of the Performance Racing League at Austria. And your commentators, Lucas Aid and Ramsey. Have a great week, everyone, and we will hopefully speak to you all in 7 days' time.
Bye bye.